Hey guys, I wanted to do a follow up video now that I have more information with regards to Traci Braxton, husband, and her son alleged altercation that we saw circulating online. Now, for those of you that watch the show, obviously we have formed our own opinion because I have also formed my own opinion. It seems like Tracy's husband has addressed the exploitation issues. Now, we have talked about, it's just seeming like the son, Kevin Jr., is being exploited. Now, that is just what I see when I watch the show. And again, I'm not tied to this family. I'm just going by what it is looking like to be. Well, apparently, Kevin Sr. is addressing some things. He's really vague, so it seems like he just doesn't want to throw his son under the bus, which I can totally understand. Being a father, his son is already suffering from, some kind of mental, effects of, his mom gone and being divorced. So I wouldn't blame him for, putting his son business out there like that, except for to address what we have already saw. So what I want to do, because I know you guys don't watch every video, let's kind of go back to what we heard yesterday in that video, and then we're going to get into what Kevin had to say.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Cancer. You call my wife cancer. No. You told me no. You told me no. You told me no. You told me no. When I asked you if you live in a house, at the condo, you said no though. But you said no. You told me no. You told me no. I'm not lying. I have no reason to lie to you. Who the motherfucking dude? There you go. There you go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. It was before your motherfucking mother cancer. Before my wife cancer.
That's been circulating on social media. It's showing a disagreement between my son and I. Unfortunately, this video was recorded by someone with intent on gaining notoriety and defaming my character. During this exchange, some disrespectful remarks were made. As a father, I felt it was important to address this situation firmly and in the moment. I want to make it clear that no physical altercations occurred, and this incident happened some time ago and is being made to seem recent. It's disheartening to see this recording being used to create division and to mock our relationship. It feels like yet another instance of personal family disputes being exploited for attention. My priority is to protect the integrity of my family in a constructive way and to minimize the emotional impact during this time of crisis.
Okay, guys, so you guys were great in analyzing that first video, but let's kind of jump into the second video. So Kevin is saying that it was a disagreement between him and Kevin Jr. He stated that the video is old and whoever recorded it wanted to use it to defame his character. He stated that it was disrespectful remarks made. Obviously, those remarks was from his son because he said he needed to address those remarks firmly and in the moment. Now, I read you guys' comments, and a lot of people were saying that the son was physical, but I don't know. We couldn't see it. What Kevin Sr. is saying is that there was no physical altercation, but I don't feel like if there was a physical altercation, then that he would actually say it because it's just going to make the waters more muddier. But what he is saying is basically that this is being used for other people or other individuals to gain notoriety and fame or exploitation. And these are things that we've spoken about. Now, guys, we don't need him to tell us. He referring to the Braxtons. Who else is he talking about? Who else on the planet cares this much about making him look bad? Nobody but the Braxtons. So, he's saying that this video is also an old video, and this guy looks very sad and depressed, like even the father. So this is just terrible. What he is saying is this is being exploited for attention, and he would like to protect the integrity of his family, but this is not happening. And he speaks to trying to minimize the emotional impact, and that is not happening. So it's a lot, that's been said. It's a lot going on. And I just wanted to come on here and kind of give his perspective of what he is saying that happened, because I would have saw it after my video was actually posted. And also I read you guys' comments, what you're saying. And you guys did a great job by breaking it down. And I'm going to get into actually what you said. But before I do that, I would like to address some of the comments that were similar to some of your comments. And these were actually comments that were just placed by the public. So let's kind of get into those. So, guys, I want to get into some of these comments because after I read the comments, I want to go into Traci's will, because there's been so much false information that's been put out there. And we want to try to clarify as much of the misconception and the lies as possible, because I have a good idea who is putting this incorrect information out in the media. And of course, people don't fact check anything. They just run with whatever lie that is more entertaining to them. So one person or commenter said, I love the Braxtons, but I feel like they are using Kevin Jr.'s grief for a storyline. Now, we've all said that. And I also think they are turning against him and his dad. They're turning him against his dad. Now, I saw this. Nobody had to tell me that either. They should be trying to help mend the relationship, because we all know that's what Traci would have wanted. Hands down, I am saying the same thing, okay? Now, the next comment says, and this is kind of like a crossover a little bit, they definitely using that boy for a storyline, because what are they getting out of defaming Big Kevin character? He lost his wife. She left him nothing. What else y'all want from this man? Now, she left him nothing. Y'all, that narrative, there it goes again. Now, this other one says, Kevin, hang in there. These comments are a reflection of what happens when the Braxton has the upper hand to control the narrative. But we, the real fans of BFV, remember exactly how much Traci loved you and how she felt like you and little Kevin were the only ones who treated her like she mattered. The same sisters who, using her death as a storyline and to tarnish your name, will see their karma. The same sisters who wish death on their sister because she decided to continue filming the show just for them to start filming again after her death. Now, that is true. We know how Traci really felt about you, little Kevin, will come around eventually when he realized what's really tea. Now, that is so true. Now, this other commenter said, these teens be disrespectful AF. AF, though, like as a parent, I understand losing your temper because you in disbelief that your kid just tried you, not justifying because I don't know enough surrounding information about that they're saying about this, but from that one video and this reply, I can't condemn bro if he's saying his son was talking crazy. And that's what he said. He said, I had to check it in the moment. Now, this other one is the one that is, you guys can't see it because it was a little covered up, but I'm gonna read it. That's a grown-ass man. He mad Traci left him everything to her son, and mad that son not giving him shit. Now, this is what one commenter is saying. Moving on. Now, here's more comments. Now, the first commenter is saying pretty much that Kevin Sr. is mad because Traci put her son in power of anything. And then someone else goes on to say, he looks so lost without Traci, praying they get it together. So sad, but Traci knew what she was doing, leaving everything to her son and not him. After watching the video, I'm thinking he's been violent towards Traci too. Now, people are just delusional. Now, they're making up stuff now. It's time to accept the fact that the Braxtons are not good people and should absolutely not be on TV trying to set any type of example. Now, I have to agree with that. I think that this show would be a good show if we were able to see all sides, because right now, what the Braxtons are doing is they want to tell their narrative. They don't want anybody else to tell theirs. That's how you know that they're hiding stuff, because they don't want Kevin Sr. to come on the show because he can't give his perspective. They don't want anybody to hear that. And that's what the problem is. Now, the reason why I'm going to read the will, because it's this information that has been, I want to say, put out there by the Braxtons, that Traci didn't leave her husband nothing. Now, that is a lie, and the truth is not in it. She did leave her husband something. Now, would that make any sense that she wouldn't leave her own husband nothing? It would almost make you think like, well, why would she even be married to him then, right? Because it just kind of goes hand in hand with marriage. So I'm going to skip over some of this. Obviously, you know her name, Traci Renee Braxton. It gives the county in which she lived in, which was Maryland. Okay, so she says that I am a married person. My husband's name is Kevinsurratt. I hereby attest that I'm the mother of one child, Kevinsurratt Jr. I direct my personal representative to pay all costs and expenses of my last illness and funeral expenses. It is my express wish that there be no last rites of memorial service of any sort by my sorority. Now, what she's saying is, when you are in a sorority and you pass away, they do have last rites to the memorial service. She doesn't want them to have that. And Kevin Sr. expressed this in his interview, okay? So she lists her sorority, Zeta Phi Beta sorority, or the Eastern Stars, because these are organizations that she was affiliated with. So with these organizations, I learned, I didn't know this either, that when you die, they do have last rites of memorial service. So she didn't give it to them. She said this in the will, it says, this is not a representation of my lack of affection for my beloved organizations. However, I simply wish to move the matter along with the absolute least amount of suffering for those who love me. So she just didn't want them to, put on whatever it is they put on. She didn't want it. She says, I hereby direct that I'm cremated after my passing and that my remains be distributed to my son, Kevinsurratt Jr., and my husband, Kevinsurratt Sr. Should they wish to possess a small memorial keepsake of my remains, such should be provided to my mother, Evelynbraxton, my father, Michael, and my siblings, Tony, Michael Jr., Towanda, Trina, and of course, Tamar is the last on the list. She says, prior to cremation, I hereby wish that there be viewing, okay? She said, How I am dressed shall be determined solely by my son, Kevin Surratt Jr., and my husband, Kevin Surratt Sr. So she says that she wants her husband and her son to be the one that determines how she is dressed. She wants one viewing. She says the guest list for my viewing shall also be solely determined by my son and my husband. She said, after all costs and expenses of my last illness and funeral expenses have been paid, I will give the remaining monies as follows. I hereby will give any and all benefit due to me not otherwise accounted for to be given to Kevin Surratt Jr. and hereby direct that my administrator or immediate executor upon my death. So these are monies that she's giving to the son, but I want y'all to stay with me because she also gives money to her husband. I know it's been stated that she didn't leave him anything. So let me read this part again. After all costs and expenses of my last illness and funeral expenses have been paid, I will give the remaining monies as follows. So it says as follows. So it's going to carry on. I hereby will give any and all benefit due to me not otherwise accounted for. She says she's given this amount to her son, and she hereby direct that her administrator immediately execute this upon her death. Now we have read page 1. And in all honesty, guys, I want to clarify something. Reading that first page, it almost makes it seem like she left everything to her son. But what she said is after her funeral expenses were paid, I'm going to assume there was a set amount of monies that was set for that. So after that was paid, whatever was left from that pool of money was given to Kevin Jr. Okay, stay with me. Now we're at page 2. Now keep in mind, this narrative that she didn't leave her husband nothing had been running rampant, and he didn't even clarify it. I think the husband is probably over this. Now, page 2, it says, I hereby will give any and all monies in my Navy Federal Credit Union account under the name of Real Traci Braxton LLC, this be given to Kevin Surratt Sr. And she says, I hereby direct my administrator to, immediately execute this upon my death. She said, I hereby will give any and all monies in my Navy Federal Credit Union account under the name Traci Braxton LLC. So apparently she had multiple accounts at the Navy Federal Credit Union. She said this to also be given to Kevin Surratt Sr., and she's directing her administrator to execute it upon her death. She says, I hereby direct that a irrevocable trust be created in the name of N. Traci Trust. The intent and purpose of said trust shall be to provide for my grandchild. I hereby direct that the director of this trust shall be Kevin Surratt Jr., with counsel by Antavius Weems. Now, you guys remember Antavius Weems from the show. She also created a trust for her grandson. Now, Kevin Jr. is over that. She says, I hereby direct that a foundation be created in the name of the foundation of Traci Braxton Vision Almighty. The intent and purpose of said foundation shall be to educate the public, namely the African American community, about cancer. Then she gets into the specific cancers. Now she says that she wants that this trust shall be her son is going to be over this one as well, and that the counsel for this one will be Antavius Weems. Okay. Now, she says, I hereby direct that all entities associated with my brand, remember my image, my rights, and likeness, be hereby managed by Clifton Jones. And then she names her son, Kevinsurratt Jr. So why wouldn't a mother leave her likeness to her children or child? But again, the narrative is being stated that she didn't leave her husband nothing. And that is just not true. Okay. So I've kind of read you guys the bulk of this. And you guys can feel free to read it on your own. Again, I just wanted to put the information out there. So she did leave her husband 2 accounts that she had. She left her grandson a trust that she once created, and of course she's going to let his dad be over that, which makes sense. She wants a foundation created in the name of cancer. She wants her son over that. With regards to her likeness, she wants her son to be in charge of that. And honestly, I think that is kind of a problem, because right now it seems that her family is allegedly using him for Traci's likeness, because Kevin Jr. is somewhat her representative for her likeness. And this is why you guys are seeing the Braxtons all of a sudden take a liking to him, when I would have to go back and watch the episodes. I never really saw them communicate or even seem as if they had a relationship with him like that. As you guys can see, it's just weird. So I just wanted to put that out there. And hopefully this clarifies some of the misconceptions about she didn't leave her husband nothing. She actually did leave her husband something. And as always, guys, you know the drill. Make sure you like the video, share the video. And as always, I want to know what you guys think in the comments.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.